from the Lakeside Newsroom of the Henrico Citizen, your hometown news source since 2001. This is the Henrico News Minute with publisher Tom Lapis.
Henrico welcomes its new police chief this morning, Monday, September 14th, 2020. We'll have details on the Henrico News Minute coming up. It's brought to you today by Henrico Area Mental Health.
And now for the news.
Last week, the Henrico School Board received a positive school opening update from Superintendent Amy Cashwell during its September 10th work session. Discussions on social media among parents during the first week of school have varied. Many expressed gratitude to the school system for a smooth transition to the virtual learning mode, but some have asked for help with technical difficulties, and a number are concerned about their children's mental health. During her presentation to the board, Cashwell told members that school system officials had distributed thousands of computers in the first 9 days of this month, almost 3,800 iPads and more than 12,750 Chromebooks. Since March, she said, Henrico schools have purchased 2,725 Wi-Fi hotspots and distributed almost all of them, 2,415 to students and almost 200 to staff members. The division is in the process of purchasing 200 more hotspots. The school system is providing free breakfasts and lunches through the end of this calendar year at all schools twice a day in the morning and in the afternoon, and 23 buses are delivering meals to 61 bus stops countywide each Monday through Thursday. Brooklyn District School Board member Christy Kinsella asked Cashwell if there were a chance that secondary schools' students' screen time could be reduced, and Cashwell said that officials would seek input from secondary teachers and students, but would quote, hope in the meantime, while the bell schedule remains the same, that our classroom teachers are really balancing within each class period the opportunity to not only provide instruction via screen time, but also to allow for that independent activity that may happen off the screen, end quote. Earlier this morning, Henrico County swore in its new police chief, Eric English, who begins his duty today. English comes to Henrico from Harrisonburg, where he's been the chief for the past 2 years, but the majority of his career was spent in the city of Richmond, and he's been a Henrico resident for years. He replaces Humberto Cardinal, who recently retired. Last week, the Virginia Senate Judiciary Committee killed a House of Delegates bill that would have eliminated the qualified immunity legal construct that blocks civilians from suing police officers. That means that officers in the state will still have that qualified immunity. The Democratic Majority Committee voted 12-3 to kill the bill, which had been patroned in the House by Democrat Jeff Bourne of Richmond. Senate Majority Leader Dick Saslaw, a Democrat of Fairfax, said he was confident that the qualified immunity bill would not be passed in the full Senate. Another Democrat on the committee, Chap Peterson, opposed it because it didn't list a standard for unreasonable. Democratic Senator Cree Deeds said he thought the bill was too broad and addressed more than just police brutality. He added an amendment to the kill motion to form a special committee to study the bill during the next few months. It was the apparent end of a back-and-forth process for the bill, which was killed twice in the House of Delegates, but then revived twice and eventually passed by the full House. 132 new confirmed cases of COVID-19 have been reported in Henrico during the past 3 days between Saturday and this morning. That brings the county's overall total to 5,068. As of Thursday, September 10th, the county's 7-day positivity rate was 6.2%. That's about a point lower than the state average. The positivity percentage intentionally lagged several days behind the current date. A total of about 87,000 PCR tests now have been conducted among Henrico residents since the pandemic began. The Central Virginia Waste Management Authority has joined the U.S. Plastics Pact. That's an initiative designed to drive significant systems change by unifying diverse approaches, setting a national strategy, and creating a path toward a circular economy for plastics in the U.S. by 2025. The pact will convene more than 60 brands, retailers, government agencies, and other groups across the plastics chain to unify approaches that will rethink the way plastics are designed, used, and reused. By joining as a founding activator, CVWMA has committed to meet 4 goals. First, to define a list of packaging to be designated as problematic or unnecessary by next year. and take measures to eliminate them by 2025. Second, to make all plastic packaging 100% reusable, recyclable, or compostable by 2025. Third, to recycle or compost 50% of plastic packaging by 2025. And fourth, to raise the recycled content or responsibly sourced bio-based content in plastic packaging to 30% by that year. The Innsbruck Foundation's monthly gathering, Innsbruck Table Talks, will take place virtually via Zoom on Thursday from 12:30 to 2:30 p.m. The guest speaker will be Henrico County Manager John Vithoulkas, who will provide his State of the County address. You can register for $10. For details, visit innsbruck.com/event/table-talks-12. It's been a tough time for retailers in general, but a little bit of good news in Henrico recently from Cushman & Wakefield Thalheimer Commercial Real Estate Group. Michael's Stores has renewed its lease of almost 27,000 square feet of space at Broad Street Plaza in the 9800 block of West Broad Street, and Dollar General has renewed its lease of 8,200 square feet of space at the Glen Lee Center on Mechanicsville Turnpike. Also, Trust Learning Center has leased 1,200 square feet of retail space at Laburnum Station on Laburnum Avenue.
Every 12 minutes, a Virginian dies from an opioid overdose.
Every 12 minutes.
Opioid overdoses are on the increase in Henrico. Yes, the opioid epidemic is still impacting residents in Henrico.
But you can help.
To find out what you can do, go to bouncebackhc.com.
That's bouncebackhc.com. Knowledge is power, including learning about naloxone. That's naloxone, which can temporarily reverse the toxic effects of an opioid or heroin overdose.
Get informed, get help, save a life.
Go to bouncebackhc.com. That's bouncebackhc.com.
To equip yourself with the knowledge to help our residents and the community of Henrico County against the opioid epidemic.
Knowing what to do will allow you to be prepared to save a life. Go to bouncebackhc.com today.
That's bouncebackhc.com or call 804-727-8515.
That's 804-727-8515. Directly for substance abuse services.
This message is sponsored by Henrico Area CSB Prevention Services.